this item along. If we would stay with the current motion, we will prepare this privatization proposal as it has been submitted by Solid Waste of Willits for the first meeting board meeting in January. That will give the entire board the opportunity to give us direction on the item. So it is, I do have a proposal here. You haven't seen it because it is not agendized, hasn't gone through the process, but we can agendize it for the first meeting in January. The board can give the executive office, direction at that time. In the meantime, I would suggest we move forward with today's item.
So ordered. Now let's take up the motion before us, and there is a motion and a second on a modified motion. Any discussion to the motion? Supervisor Pinson.
This motion does not get to the issue. All this does is direct us to only look at the South Coast Transportation.
That's correct.
And not the, why don't we look at the whole picture?
Because what is before us today, Supervisor, is very
I
direct.
understand that, but what it does with this motion, it takes us into the next year of doing the same thing, only looking at the small picture. Why don't we look at the big picture?
Mr. CEO, it's been
Yes, sir.
directed to you before to look at the big picture, and it is your intent to look at the big picture and come back before this board for the big picture analysis, which would include direction from county council on RFPs, et cetera, for the big picture to be brought back before the board. Is that correct?
The only correction I would make, it is not our intent, it is our commitment to the board that we
Okay.
will do so.
Okay. Supervisor, does that?
Well, I just wonder if it's still, I understand the intent of the CEO, but.
Well, it was
I'm
previous
going
direction
by
of this board to
if
do
this-
that.
Well, if we approve this motion, it doesn't do that. That's my point.
That's correct. It does not
It
do
does
that.
not
It's
do
very
that.
specific.
And I'm
It's a
not
part
going
and
to-
parcel of the big picture.
I'm not going to support, I've been working, trying to get this in front of the Board of Supervisors for a vote for almost 2 years now, and all this does is just, in
Well,
my opinion, just
and-
kind of sidetrack it.
John, I understand your passion. You need to understand my support. But this is a very specific action that I can't expand as chairman. So we need to act on this. We've given previous direction. We've reaffirmed that direction just now, and we have a commitment from the board, or from the CEO, to fulfill your request. And that's all I can do. I'm bound. So I need to call, I guess, for the question on the motion, and we need to move ahead.
One last comment.
comment.
We can take no action on this agenda item, and the chairman can direct the CEO's office to come back within 60 days of a proposal.
I just did that. I just welded the gavel and I just directed them to bring it back. If you want me to modify it, bring the proposal back within 60 days of a full analysis of the big picture, Mr. Mitchell. Okay?
That's all it takes. It doesn't take a motion in.
That's correct. For one last time, I get to weld a little power around here, and I'd say little power because I'm a little guy.
Just for the record, Mr. Chair, Tom Mitchell, CEO, the executive office does formally on record commit that we will bring this back to you within 60 days or less to study the privatization proposal.
Thank you. Now can I call for the vote? Thank you. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay. David, you're on the winning side of a 3-2 vote.
Take every one I can get.
Now can we all hold hands and sing Jingle Bells? And yes, there's been a request and it's been outstanding and I'm about to die here. We need to take a 10-minute break before we come back and finish up with some quick business and then get on into some more important business. Thank you. 10-minute break.